No, if you look at Jalen's playoff career, it has mostly been what he has been in the regular season, where I think me and you probably disagree on this is I think how he's played in the regular season has proven to be good enough to win in the playoffs. Like, there have been plenty of big games Jalen has had in the regular season. He's had games in the regular season as good as his Super Bowl game in 2022. He's had games in the regular season as good as his championship game in last year.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is obviously those games mean more because they were big games, but Jalen has won big games. So I do think really what we talk about when we say Jalen improving his game in the regular season, in the playoffs, is that he's a guy that does not get impacted by pressure, right? So when he has big games, he is capable of playing at a high level, much like he is in the regular season.
Well, I do agree with a lot of what you said there. And I also think the few times he has not played great in the playoffs, Eliot, I never think it's about the pressure. I'm with you on that. I just think he just didn't play well, right? So there are some quarterbacks, and maybe we'll talk about them in a few minutes on our quarterback list here in the NFC, that you do wonder in the pressure moment how they're going to play. I don't wonder that about John. I never think the pressure gets to him. He either plays great or he doesn't. So we shall see. Now, Eliot, I want to unpack something I heard you say yesterday on Tuesdays with Eliot in the afternoon show. And I thought it was interesting because you were kind of going through your confidence level in this team now versus where you were last year entering the postseason. And I believe you said you're more confident in a way in this team than you were last year. So am I right on that? That's where you're at entering the playoffs?
Yeah, I think if we look at how we felt about the 2024 Eagles heading into the postseason last year, and then we think about how we feel about this team, I think there should be more confidence in this team than there would have been in last year's team. Now, I understand last year's team obviously went on and won the Super Bowl, so we now view them as clearly they have accomplished something that this team has not. I understand that. But if you look at the 2024 team heading into the postseason, Jalen hadn't played for 3 weeks. They had not won the Super Bowl, right? They were coming off the last time they were in the playoffs was the epic collapse where they got demolished in Tampa Bay. And this year, if you look at the team, they are coming off winning the Super Bowl, so they are battle-proven, right? They have proven they can go and they can do it. Jalen has been playing. He's not dealing with an injury right now. That was a major question last year. And also, the path is way easier. This year, the NFC is not as strong as the NFC last year. And the AFC is not as strong as it was last year. Last year, you had all the great quarterbacks in the AFC. The path that the Eagles ended up taking to the Super Bowl last year ended up being the second toughest path ever for a team that has won the Super Bowl. So, they did it, and obviously props to them. But I think now, because they have gone through it, this group of players I have more confidence in than I did at this time last year.
All right, I think it's interesting. It's an interesting take. I agree with a lot of it. There's one part, and you didn't relay it just to us, but I feel like I heard you say it yesterday because you were going through the path, right? And the path starts Niners this week. Last year was the Green Bay Packers. You mentioned yesterday the one seed you thought was stronger last year with the Lions. I agree with you, even though they were banged up, they seemed scarier than the Seahawks team. I'm with you. I think I heard you say yesterday the Rams this year are not as good as they were last year. That I can't sign off on that. They're way better this year.
Look, I'm sure you guys can appreciate. You say a lot of things. Sometimes it says one thing, and that's probably not true. You're right. The Rams are better this year than they were last year.
All right.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, yeah, they are for sure. But again, the Eagles' path through the NFC this year, even with the improved Rams, will not be tougher than it was last year, and especially if you include the playoffs. I guess anything could happen. Maybe the Panthers go on a run. You never know. But realistically, the path this year will be easier than the path last year.
I think I agree, except we're more likely to have a road title game, right? That's the one. That's a big difference. But I generally agree with you, Eliot. I think
we also thought that last year, for what it's worth.
We did, but there's two teams in front of them, home field advantage-wise.
Yeah, that's fair. And I guess the Lions being better last year lessened the chances as opposed to Seattle this year being upset. That's true.
Yep. All right.
But I would also say, just quickly, are we sure that last year's team is way better than this team? Are we sure, right? Because if you look at
offensively, they are. Offense.
Well, okay, so they are better. They were a way better running team last year. Absolutely. Jalen did set a career high in passing yards, in passing touchdowns this year, right? The defense, I think, is better. And again, I do think this team has something that last year's team didn't have that isn't quantifiable, which is they have the confidence of having won it. Right? Last year's team, while it was clearly something special going on and they proved to be a very tough team, they did not have the confidence that I think this team has in terms of knowing they can do it. And again, the passing offense is probably better this year. The defense is better this year. So I'm not so sure that the team last year is way better than this year's team.
All right, Eliot, with that, last year started with a relatively easy win in the first round. I mean, I'm not saying they won by 40, but I never felt that game was truly in doubt. They held the Packers down, and eventually Saquon ran away in the fourth quarter, and they won by double digits. Do you feel it's going to be a similar outcome this year? What's your feeling on Wednesday as we head towards Sunday? Eagles-Niners, they're about a 4.5-point favorite. Do you think this is a comfortable win, or are we biting our nails at 7:15 on Sunday?
Well, what's interesting is if you look at the career of Nick and Jalen, they have mostly played in blowouts. Like most of the playoff games, whether for better or worse, have not been close. So I guess in some ways it's probably more likely it won't be a close game. I do think there's a good chance the Eagles win this game comfortably. And I very much understand that 10 minutes into the game on Sunday, I could be sitting here. The offense could have gone 3 and out 3 times, and we're remembering what it looks like at times to watch this team play. But I also think if you look at the matchups, you look at the line, like I definitely think it is an Eagles line, and it is moving to an Eagles, even more into the favor of the Eagles. I just think they're a better team than the 49ers. The 49ers do one thing better than, or really 2 things better than the Eagles. They pass the ball better, and they have fewer penalties. And those are important things for sure. But the Eagles are actually a better running team than the 49ers this year, as hard as that might be to believe. They have a way better defense than the 49ers. They have better receivers. Like, they're at home. Sirianni's never lost at home. Sirianni and Jalen, I should say. So I do think there's I feel confident in the game as of now.
I could tell. Yeah, and I agree with a lot of your reasoning. Right there, yeah, I do. All right, Eliot, let's do a little exercise together. So a lot of times during the year, we did a segment where we would power rank the quarterbacks, and it was typically a Hugh Douglas segment because he had some wild rankings. Who'd you have in there in your top 10?
I had Tyler Shuck.
Well, you might have been right about that. He might be. It's Shuck.
Tyler Shuck.
No, bad news for Tanner McKee. I'll say that.
Yeah, that Saints job might be locked up.
Your worst hits are Brissett, Snoop Huntley, Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler is all-time bad.
They were not bad hits. Thank you very much,
They benched Rattler to get to Shuck.
There are no bad hits.
It was really
played
bad.
well. It was a week-to-week thing.
Okay.
Sounds like you're a big fan of NFC South quarterbacks there.
Yeah, well, he wants to be a coach of that division, so he's got familiarity.
Yeah,
all right, Eliot, and here, let's do this together. 7 NFC quarterbacks enter the postseason. Now,
get my pencil.
we can workshop the criteria. I think we need to weigh pretty heavily for this ranking how they're playing right now, right? Like entering the postseason. But the 7 quarterbacks in order of their seeding are Sam Darnold, Caleb Williams, Jalen Hurts, Bryce Young, Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy, Jordan Love. All right.
You're talking about we're saying okay.
Just the NFC, right?
Okay.
So really, let's figure out where we think Jalen Hurts belongs entering the postseason quarterback power rankings. Can we knock out a few things we all agree on? Do we all agree Bryce Young is last?
Yeah,
I would mostly agree with you. Again, I do think there's something to be said for unproven a little bit over proven failure, but I would probably put Bryce Young last.
Hugh, you with that? We would put Bryce Young last?
We can put Bryce Young last.
Okay, let's put Bryce Young at 7. So let's work from there. Bryce Young.
He's writing them down.
I am. Because I'm looking. I'm a visual person. I'm working on my.
So you're
coaching.
working on the transcript.
Are you a visual person?
I'm working on my coaching acumen.
Okay,
great.
I'm working on this
because the Stafford thing earlier did not go well.
No, so
we don't live in the past around these.
It was 30 minutes ago.
We made a mistake, and now we're moving forward.
All right, so you're the person of record for this. You're writing it down. All right. Bryce Young at 7.
Douglas over here.
The scribe.
You're a hater.
All right. Can we?
Not your hater.
Can we agree? Matthew Stafford is number 1.
Yes, I had him at number 1 already.
Eliot?
Yes, I think you could probably. If you're weighing off this year, yes, I think he's number 1.
That was a little bit of a hesitation.
I know. I heard a little hesitation.
Well, there should obviously be hesitation. The closest comparison here is 1 and 2, and then after that there's a gap. But 1 and 2 are the closest here.
Okay.
I mean, they are. Jalen just won the Super Bowl last year.
I think there's a closer gap between Hurts and Purdy than Hurts and Stafford.
Oh, I disagree. I mean, Jalen beat Stafford every time he plays him. He just won the Super Bowl last year. He did have a career high in passing touchdowns for what it's
what
worth.
was that, 25?
Well, it's still a career high. I don't know what you want me to say. How many did Purdy throw?
He threw 20 in 8 games.
Yeah, so he's hurt a lot. That seems like a negative to me. Sure. Last time he played a playoff game here, he got hurt.
He got
you have
banged
to
up.
take that into consideration.
Well, yeah, but I'm not talking about building a team. I'm talking about ranking the players right now.
Yeah, so if I had to go into a playoff game with a quarterback, I would feel most confident Jalen would stay healthy out of the 3 we're talking about.
Can I put one caveat
in
this ranking?
Mm-hmm.
for me, I think it's important to talk about this year.
I agree.
Because there's going to be some people that are going to get penalized for their past in this ranking. So I think to be fair to everybody, because that's what we're doing with Bryce Young and Matt Stafford, we have to keep it to this year. So pedigree can't be a part of the equation
right now. And
this sounds like setting up a Sam Darnold take.
Oh no, it's not. It's not,
yeah.
Elliot. I
don't even know where he was going.
No, because you know what? I just feel like because Sam Darnold's going to get dinged for his past playoff performances, right?
Performance.
Jordan Love is going to get dinged because of his past playoff performances.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is going to get dinged
for not playing in the playoffs.
Same
thing with Bryce Young. Yeah.
So it's I think to be fair to all of these because this is a new regime. This is a new look. Brock Purdy's been in the playoffs, so you're going to automatically he's going to be probably in that top 4 range because he's been in the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's all. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So Eliot, you'd put Hurts 2, no doubt.
Yes, Hurts would be 2 for me.
Even though the way he played this season.
Yeah, look, again, he had bad stretches for sure, but I also think we're maybe going a little extreme here in how bad he was.
Well, it was pretty mediocre.
Well, but I'm saying, he carried them to a few key wins. The offensive line was not good. He had no running game to help him. And I know we'll say, well, he should have done better passing, and I agree. But a lot of quarterbacks would struggle with a bad offensive line and no running game to help them.
Totally agree.
So, I mean, again, in the larger ranking of every quarterback, I think he would not be 2. But in the NFC or, the NFC quarterbacks, he should be.
Hugh, Hurts 2, or would you put someone else 2 entering the playoffs?
This is where it's hard because I hear everything Eliot's saying. But when I think the fact that you have some quarterbacks that have been able to score more points. And granted, I have to give Jalen the props for being a quarterback that has had the toughest schedule, and a lot of other teams that we're talking about, schedule wasn't as tough. And
he's been healthier now. It's a fair point by Eliot. I mean, Love's been banged up with a concussion. Purdy missed half the season.
He's been pretty consistent.
I think that's fair to bring up, yeah. So, all right. Who's it between for you at 2? Is it Hurts and Purdy, or would you put someone else in the conversation?
I don't want to ding Sam Darnold for being Sam Darnold, but
14 wins. Wins matter.
Yeah, but Jalen Hurts, when you talk about the seeding and the schedules and everything, we made a big to-do about the schedule this year. And even though Jalen has had an up-and-down year because we're boots on the ground here, I mean, damn, he did win a lot of games, and they are in the playoffs.
Sounds like you're leaning to Hurts at 2.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I'll go with you guys. Hurts 2. Is Purdy 3, Eliot?
I would probably put Purdy 3, but I would consider Caleb Williams here. I think Caleb Williams, I would rather play a Brock Purdy-led team than a Caleb Williams-led team, but I think
he's
lack
a wild
of playoff
card,
experience.
Though.
Yeah,
he's the wild
experience
card.
has to matter. I agree. And, for what it's worth, if you look at Purdy's resume overall, he's not that different than Jalen in the way that he's 30-15 as a starter.
I
in
agree.
The playoffs, he actually has the lowest all-time interception rate for a passer. With 171 attempts and only 1 interception. So he also takes care of the ball. But, man, I'm impressed by Caleb Williams. I think he has more skill. I would still probably go Purdy 3, though.
I am with you. That's why when I was saying Hurts and Purdy, I think they're grouped together. They're both good, and they're both.
So we're putting at 3. Purdy.
Jalen has a ring, and Purdy does not.
Yes,
we're putting Purdy at 3.
Purdy at 3. Okay. All right. So Stafford, Hurts, Purdy. We have Bryce Young at 7. That means we got to figure out 4, 5, and 6. And the 3 quarterbacks we have left are Sam Darnold, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love. What would you do next, Hugh?
I would say, just off the top of my head, because I'm trying to be fair and balanced in this. Because he's an unknown and he's a wild card, I'm leaning Caleb Williams a little bit more because he has a tremendous skill set. And we saw that firsthand.
I mean, let's be real. He might be 1 or 2 on this list soon. He's improving pretty quickly here.
And the one thing that jumps out to me is how much he's been able to absorb in a short period of time.
Yeah. All right, you want to go Williams next?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Caleb.
Eliot, you good with that?
I'm good with Williams next, yeah.
All right, that means we have 2 quarterbacks left to rank. That is Jordan Love, and it is Sam Darnold.
I think if you're asking me again, Jordan Love has to be, to me, 5. Now I'm a ding Sam Darnold for what he's been in the playoffs.
I think Love
the number 1 seed quarterback is 6.
Yeah, I think Love kind of stinks.
Okay, well, that's fair. You're fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I would put Darnold ahead of Love here. And as you guys know from talking to me throughout the season,
You're not a Darnold guy. Yeah.
Not a Darnold guy, but is anyone living off of 2 playoff games more than Jordan Love is? He's hurt all the time.
Fair.
The Packers constantly underachieve. Like, I agree. He's had more playoff success than Sam Darnold, and that is very meaningful to me. It is. But Sam Darnold has been so much better than him the past 2 regular seasons.
Okay,
I would guess the stats
that's fair.
I'm with you. You know what?
That's fair.
I kind of like the way we got through this together. This was a fun exercise. So the quarterback rankings in the NFC.
I'm proud of you guys.
So the 3 of us.
We work together. Teamwork.
Stafford 1, Hurts 2, Purdy 3, Caleb Williams 4, Sam Darnold 5, Jordan Love 6, Bryce Young 7. You like how we did that, Eliot?
Yeah, and I got to say, like Hugh, when you apply for the Falcons job, you should show him this call. Like the way you had us all working together,
yes.
You navigated it, you compromised.
He was distracted by having to write it all down.
To be honest, Kyle, I was focused because I had to write it all down.
That's my point.
Maybe we should get you to write more during these shows. Elliot,
I'm going to be at the meetings with fidget spinners and whatnot.
He's not as a head coach, kid. Elliot, we appreciate you hopping on. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see you Sunday at the Link. It's going to be a fun day.
Yes, sir. Can't wait. Talk to you guys soon.
There he goes, Eliot Shorr-Parks. I like that. That was a really
that was
a grown-up
very
exercise.
grown up. I agree.
Yeah.